What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Abby, and I heartily welcome you to the Caribbean and to my container garden here in Trinidad. I've been at work for a while. I've been outside. I've given the chicks an introduction to some greens this morning. That's the meat birds, that is. And I'm recognized. I have a green stalk that I planted. Um, and the beans are in the shade, and it doesn't seem to be liking that shade too much. So I have to move that to a more sunny spot, and I'll be monitoring it to see how it goes. But my plan this morning is to give you guys a short update on how the transplants are doing, and yeah, you're just gonna see each garden process as we go on. Yeah, go play, go play. I did it! I did it! Oh my gosh. So you can see all the beans that are sprouting. Some of them rotted, but we had germination in both type of beans, the purple potted and the unknown bush bean. But this DIY so far has proven to be successful because I wanted the plants to grow straight up and the root system grow into the bag. That's what the roots will naturally do, and it worked out really well. Just what I envisioned is just what is happening. I use an old bleach bottle plastic container. I cut pieces and I just made this semicircle on the sides of the bag and filled it with dirt, and we'll see how it progresses from here. The zucchini is still smaller than the other one. This zucchini has taken off. Some slug came and ate this last night, so I have to do either come out and either pick that slug off by hand or put down some slug bait, because I am having an issue. I don't know where these slugs came from, but they're here, and they're here in a large way. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so let's get started on the update on our seedlings and how they are doing. So in front of me, I have the pepper and the onion seedlings, and I have 2 pumpkin seedlings that I need to get into the ground as soon as possible. My plan is to move out the area where I had the compost pile, move out majority of that and plant those there and let those grow up somehow, somewhere. Let me show you the plants. Yeah, so these are doing really well. They've gotten their true leaves. All I have here so far is the banana pepper, as well as the jalapenos. I have bunching onions as well as the regular Texas onion, and 2 pumpkin vines remaining. On this side, I have planted out the lettuces. I planted a black seeded Simpson as well as a mini red romaine, and I can't tell who is who right now. But what I've done is that because I have lots of butterflies here and slugs, I have just bent a piece of what y'all would call cattle panel or BRC wire construction material. I bent it into a semicircle and I just put some tulle. I had this outside for some time. Some tulle that I got in, some cheap tulle. You get this in the cloth store, so cheap. And I just drape it over to keep those butterflies off of my plant. So on this side, I planted the pumpkins, and I also, one of the pumpkins got eaten by a slug. This one here is a butternut squash. You can see the light greenness of it. It's a different foliage to the regular pumpkin. The regular pumpkin has veins, the different veining in the leaves. So these two are doing really well. I planted an okra, a volunteer okra, inside the pot here with the rough skin lemon. Don't know how that's gonna go, but that's the plan. And over here, guys, oh, I'm so happy to say we have some cantaloupes growing. So these are hearts of gold cantaloupe, and we have some cantaloupes popping up on the vine. At first I was trying to hand pollinate this. There's one down here, and I'm also seeing a new one coming by over here. So far I'm seeing cantaloupe popping up on this, and this planted in this pot here. This is probably a 10-gallon pot, and it's taken off onto the netting that I put onto the trellis here in the front of the house. I'm so delighted by this. So the cantaloupe also is growing onto this tree here that I have. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but this is called Panama berry, or also known as the cotton candy berry. This thing is absolutely delicious, and I was looking for something that I know my kids would eat, and it's a fruit and it can grow in the container. Right here is a small green berry, but it turns like a coral color when it's ripe, and it tastes just like cotton candy. So it's flowering prolifically right now, and the bees are loving the flower. And of course, I showed you guys earlier my gomphrenias. They are doing so well. They look so beautiful. Cucumbers, let me take you there. So this is the cucumbers. You see these spottings on the top here? That means the whitefly is feeding on the underside. So what I've been doing is that I've been gently lifting the leaf, and where I see a whitefly, I quickly squish it, because squishing them means that you can control the population before it gets out of hand. So I gently lift the leaves, and wherever I see one or I see anything, I squish them before it becomes a problem for me. And I've been doing that, and this is the cucumbers. So they're doing well here as well so far. Last night I started some new seeds. I started the pak choy because I was trying to stagger planting, but my son just came and toppled over the whole thing. I don't know if any would germinate. I'll just leave it and see what happens if I see anything popping up in that pot. But I planted some pak choy seedlings, as well as I put some bell peppers upstairs to germinate in the napkin in a napkin mode. I still have a lot of volunteers popping up. I had some okra volunteers, okra trees that are okra seedlings that I've volunteered from the last time I had an okra tree in this area. I'm gonna dig those up and try to plant them in the 5-gallon buckets that are empty. I'm not too sure if it's gonna do well because this variety of okra is a very long one. We call it okra long or deer horn. It's a very long okra. Sometimes it gets over 14 inches long and it's still tender. That's the variety okra. And it's a bigger tree, so I don't know if it would do so well in the 5-gallon. So yeah, that's what's happening in the garden this week. I'm transplanting still. I'm still figuring out the layout of the garden. And I am right now in meat production, getting those meat chicks ready for freezer camp. My focus really is on getting those birds in the freezer successfully. And at the same time, oh. I just cast my eyes on it. My eggplant. Whoop. My eggplant, my husband says it's gonna die when the chicks come in here, but I'm determined. I am determined to get this plant to survive. It has taken off. All I did was I put some blood meal in this area, and look how it looks. Look at that. Oh, just a little TLC does a lot, even for a plant. So what is happening here, even though it has a lot of flowers, I've been noticing this black wasp. My neighbor. I've been noticing this black wasp, and what this wasp does, look at that. This wasp comes and eats, focus. Yeah, you see that? This wasp comes and eats this flower, eats the eggplant flower out. So what I will have to do with this now is put the bird netting around this and try to protect it from now so that I can start getting some eggplant. If I could see the wasp, it's eating out all the flowers. Sorry about my camera. I'm so focused on looking. Yeah, it's eating out all the flower, the stamen, everything on the inside. That's what it's doing. It's eating out everything in there. Oh, looks like we're getting an eggplant. Alrighty. But in the meantime, I'm going to try and protect the plant a little more from this wasp. It's a black wasp. I don't know if it would sting me. But what it is doing is it's really eating out those flowers. So if you're a local here in Trinidad and you have what you call melanging or eggplant planted and you find that you're not getting any fruit, oh, let me give you a shot of this wasp that I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's what this wasp does. It eats out the center of the eggplant flower, and the flower is unable to do anything to grow. All its ovaries and everything is eaten out, so it doesn't grow, it just falls to the ground. Some people say it's a mite, but observation, I've recognized it's this black wasp. And I probably will get my electric bat and come out and deal with it because, dude, you're in the way of me getting eggplant. That is not acceptable. So, guys, that's it for today's short and sweet. That's just the update. See you guys in the next one. Have a good week. Bye.